Like button, leave me a comment, yeah, like Haley's comment. You like the kayak? Looking for holes?
Ooh, good try.
Yeah, can't believe it.
Oh my gosh, you have teeth or something in there.
All right, I want to welcome you to this episode of BTR Outdoors. And on this episode, if you remember, about 2 months ago, I did a video about a bunch of hacks I did to my kayak. So, after getting to use it several times, I'm going to let you know which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like, and which ones I would like to make some improvements on. So stay tuned and let's get to it. A little quick overview of how I set up my kayak and all the different hacks that I've done and how well they're holding up or things that I need to adjust. Okay, I'm really happy with the battery box. It turned out really well. Even though I do have a hole drilled on the top of it, I hadn't had any issues with water getting in. And I think a lot of that is where it's located when I'm in the kayak. But overall, this little hack, I'm really happy with. And let me show you where I store the battery box. Okay, I store it right there in the bow of the kayak. I even made a little notch for the wire delay so I can still close the lid. I'll show you how that works. That way it doesn't kink the wire, and it's still got a pretty good watertight seal to keep water out. But I've never really had water that high in there, because if I did, it'd probably be an issue. But I haven't had no issues so far when I'm in the kayak. Okay, next, I know this is not a hack, but this rod holder, it's a little too far from my seat. It's hard to reach over there. It's doable, and I will continue to use it because I really don't have any other choices. But it does come out really easy, which helps sometimes. I've had some pretty good bites where I just reach for my pole and it was a little bit easier just to pull out the whole thing instead of just trying to get my rod out. But I would like to try to find a different type of rod holder for up here. I'm just not sure what my options are, but I'll keep a lookout. But for now, it will work. Okay, the mount I made for my depth finder / fish finder, really happy with. It really works well. I like how I can move it up. I like how I can turn it when I get into shallow water. I like having the camera mount that faces me, or I could turn it around also. But I really like that. All right, I think the only thing I'll change on this mount is, as you can see, the pipe kind of goes into the water at an angle. I need to put like a little 45 or something to make it more up and down to get a better accurate reading on my depth and fish. So that I will probably change. Overall, I'm really happy with it. Okay, I did take off the depth finder just to show you. Whenever I'm loading or unloading the kayak, I always just flip this over. So you know, there's no chance of me rubbing it up against something and breaking it off. And then when I get ready for it to use, I can just slide it over. Bam, as simple as that. I really do like that design. Can't really take credit for it. I watched another, well, I watched several YouTubers and then kind of put my own take into it. But like I said, I'm still have to put like a little angle piece right here to get this to go straight up and down. I'll say one thing about this kayak, there's really no flat spaces. There's a little curve. So when I attached the mounting rack, it's not perfectly level. So that is a big reason it gives me that little kind of angled out into the water, where I would like it to be a little bit more up and down so I can get a better accurate reading for my fish finder. But we'll see. I think I can just add a little joint in here to make that happen. We'll just have to see. It's working great right now, but I don't know, it's one of those things that it's more irritating because I just want it to be, you know, perfectly up and down. But like I said, it's working great right now. I hadn't had any issues. The little camera mounts that I bought on Amazon, man, I love. These things are really secure. You can move it around. It's got that little ball joint. You can tighten them up and they're not going anywhere. So I really do, they were only a few dollars for a couple of them. So these are really well worth it. I really enjoy those camera mounts. The back camera mount has really worked well, especially when I remember to turn on the camera back there. But it's got the same camera mount as the front camera mount, so I'm really happy with that. It does get a good view, what I'm looking for, and I can really change it up if I want to, and I can put it on either side of the kayak. The only downfall is I do lose a rod holder. But as many of you know, once I get 2 rods, everything just starts going crazy and getting tangled up. But it would be nice to have another place to store some rods, and that's probably going to be another future hack where I can try to figure out where I can mount one. Well, let's talk about the seat. This little thing is so comfortable. I remember my dad bought the extra cushion to make it more comfortable, and it does help. It does help. But the way the seat is, this way it's designed is really easy on my back, which is giving me really a lot of trouble right now. But I've sat in this thing over 4 hours and no issues at all. And with my back, that's saying a lot. So it's really comfortable. I can sit out there and fish for a really long time and not have to worry about it hurting me. Only thing I have to worry about is getting sunburned. Okay, this real quick, let's talk about this anchor. It's not very heavy, but it will stop you. I would probably, for somebody my size, maybe get something a little bit bigger. But overall, I mean, this thing will hold me where I want to stay without, you know, breaking loose. It's got a really good grip to it. And in my video, where you secure the anchor, your anchor rope, then you go down here and put a zip tie. That way, if your anchor gets hung, you bust that zip tie and it gives you another angle to pull this anchor out. And I got a video that I did that explains this whole technique that I will put a link in the description. But here's the deal. When I was doing the video, I did the demonstration of breaking the zip tie on dry land. When my anchor got hung up in water and you're trying to pull it and your kayak's going up and down because your anchor's stuck, it is real difficult to break that zip tie, because evidently I must have bought like a Gorilla zip ties. So what I'm going to do is probably change that out to a cheaper zip tie, maybe a little bit smaller, just for it to be a little bit easier to break if I need it to break, so I can retrieve my anchor. Right, another thing about my anchor system is, like I said, it's, don't laugh, it's tied to my seat. Then right here is where I adjust the depth of the anchor to, you know, tie it off however many feet I need. Okay, the problem that I ran into with this system I thought was going to be, oh man, this is just the easy system, is my anchor got stuck. A boat passed me a little too close, if you ask me, going full speed. The waves came over the side of the kayak because the anchor was stuck. I couldn't go nowhere, and it just didn't allow the kayak to roll over the waves, and so the waves came into the kayak. If I wouldn't have had my stabilizers on, right there I could have probably flip the kayak. So that's one reason why I do always go out with the stabilizers. And then I'm gonna have to get like an anchor trolley system so I can adjust it maybe where I can let it out through the back or even the front. We'll just have to see. I really have to do a little bit more research. But yeah, tying it off to the side, no, I have to change that immediately before an accident happens. But thank goodness for the stabilizers. Okay, my little just power box, and what I do is I can store my fish finder in here, the mount, any type of tools I need to do a quick repair, which last time I went out and did the video, you saw where my depth finder would not work for some reason, and I had to kind of rewire it right quick. Luckily I had some electrical tape, a knife and stuff like that to fix it. But I also keep a little battery pack in there to run that back camera, and I'll run this cord, which as you can see I drilled a little hole in, and I run that cord to power my camera, so I can just leave it running the entire time that I am fishing, so I don't have to worry about turning it on and off. That thing's going to catch anything that goes on in front of me. So I want a good little power pack, and I just want to be able to keep it secure, and it's done a really good job. These things say they're watertight. It does have a little seal in there. I know I have a hole drilled into it, but you know, the way I store it usually goes back behind my seat. Unless I turn over, it's going to not get wet. And with my stabilizers, if I turn over, it's some major tidal wave hit me or something, because those things, if I was in better shape and didn't have back issues, I really think I could stand up with those stabilizers on this kayak, even though it's not really made to. But that's how steady that stabilizers are. But yeah, this little box, perfect little hack to store some tools, electrical tape, power supplies, extra cords, cameras, anything like that. Just pop in there, and it's a real cheap hack. Okay, I really don't have I guess a paddle holder hack, but I really think this is what this is for. Is I'll put a paddle in there and just pop it in there, and it just keeps it out of the way when I'm taking out a hook out of a fish or having to do something. And I usually do that on the other side, which has the same little hookup. But that's what I use to just hold my paddle when I need to be doing something else, or the majority of the time it's sitting on my lap. But I have looked, this kayak is not really set up to install one of those paddle holders. I think I could, but right now just having those little straps or having it in my lap, it works really well for me. Okay, and for the back of my kayak, only thing I really do is I have a little container, which if you look in there, it just has extra tackle, sunscreen, lures, any other kind of supplies I think I'll need while I'm out there. I could even put dry food in there. Usually have me a little ice chest with drinks. Sometimes they even store bait in it. And then I was showing you my little power box slash tackle box. I just kind of keep right there behind the seat, and then having the camera mount, and the other side is a rod holder. And that's how I usually store everything in the back of the kayak. I try to keep everything as simple as I can, just to keep it where I know where everything is and keep it organized, so I have plenty of room to get fish into the kayak, just stuff like that. All right, this hatch right there in front of the seat, usually what I do is I have a very nice waterproof bag that I will put my cameras, my phone, car keys, stuff like that, and it'll roll up, and it sits right in here. And I know sometimes I do have some water that builds up in the bottom of that sometimes, but with that waterproof bag, I'm not worried about any of my stuff getting wet. And if I do happen to turn over, I know it's going to be protected. So I put any of my valuables, wallet, fishing lines, all that stuff in the bag, and I just store it right here so it's easy to get to. Okay, my Garmin mount, I was really proud of. It works super great. Easy to take on and off. I have good, I can move this around however I need to view it. So I've been really happy with this. And like I said, it's just a simple setup. I just took the original mount. Just put a little end on there to just turn it to tighten it. There you go. It's super simple mount. I'm really happy with it. It stays in place. I haven't had any kind of issues with it. Like I said, the only thing you gotta do is twist it, slide it off. That's what the bottom looks like. And to put it back, there you go. And you can move it however you want it. I was happy with this mount setup that I created. It works really well. It saved me a lot of money from having to buy one. So I was like, I'll just use what I got. And it worked out really well. So I'm really happy with the Garmin mount. I'm really happy with the Garmin fish finder itself. It's pretty accurate. I've done some testing on it on the depths. Like I said, I still want this to go, the transceiver to go more straight up and down, just to be more accurate. But it's working great just the way it is right there. But yeah, I'm really impressed with that. And I don't even use I don't use the GPS or the markings, anything like that yet. I'm just using it to see how deep the water is and if there's, fish. Like I said, my main thing is when I go out is I'm looking for channels, drop-offs, shallow flats, anything like that, just looking for fish. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the mount I created and the Garmin. And you're probably wondering, why is he not talking about or showing the stabilizers? That's going to be a whole another video where I just want to show you and talk to y'all about these stabilizers, how easy it was to mount. Well, I say easy. The first time I did it wrong, but practice makes perfect. But this, what I really, how I feel about the stabilizers. Many of you already know that answer, but I just want to kind of show them the kayak with them on and just kind of talk about them. But we'll do that in another video. All right, I want to thank you for watching this episode of BTR Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed it. I do have some other videos I'm trying to get done, but probably not today. We have storms blowing in probably about another hour, but it's already starting to get darker and the wind's starting to pick up, and it's only around, I think, 2 o'clock. So yeah, it's going to be a long day for storms. But I just want to thank y'all for watching. I'm working on the stabilizer video, and then I'm going to do another video about the anchor. So y'all stay tuned for that. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Both those help my channel out a lot. Leave a comment. I try to answer all my comments, and some of y'all have some pretty good information that I actually put to good use. So until next video, we'll catch you later, and hopefully it don't storm too bad. Y'all have a good one.